Davis County Council will now come to order. We'll make note of those present, please. And everyone will stand, let's say the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brother Kim, you mind saying a word of prayer for us, please?
Oh, blessed and eternal God, Lord, we thank you for this day that you allowed us to see. Lord, you continue to bless this great city that we live in. Continue to bless all the residents, Lord. And continue to bless us to make the decisions that we know how for this town, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Everyone had an opportunity to look over the minutes. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent
I'll make a
agenda.
motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Arnold to approve the consent agenda, second by Mr. Perry. All in favor, say an aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. Okay, the first item for discussion and action will be change order number 1, wastewater grant. Mr. Bill, you wanna?
I think Mr. Hunter Potts is gonna take care of
Okay,
that.
all right. Come on up, huh?
Yes, so this is for the wastewater project we have, the CDBG grant. Right now, the current contract we have is with the ECSC, and they're working on primarily on the force main from the wastewater plant all the way to lift station 3, I believe. And so this change order is not for that area, but for a separate area over on by lift station number 7. So if you guys know, that lift station's kind of in bad shape there, and it kind of is a workaround to kind of, it goes back up to Old Spanish Trail and kind of pumps it back towards the plant here. So we're planning to just abandon that station and connect it to the other lift station there, which I was looking at what that name of that station was.
That's over on Hunter Drive.
Number
right?
7.
Yes, yeah. So essentially, to do all that work, we got a price from the contractor, $180,000, and so this change order would allow us to do that work.
That'd be eliminating that lift station altogether?
Mhm.
They gonna gravity feed it back to Spanish Trail, you said, Old Spanish Trail?
Yes, there should be a description if there's not a map in there or a plan sheet in there,
Okay.
but that's what they're gonna do,
Okay.
feed it back.
I think it's gonna serve like 5 houses.
Oh, yeah, it
And
never was
it was
much.
gonna cost us to redo the whole thing, to be redone, and it wasn't really providing that much, so they
Right,
went
so
in
they're
and
gonna
did
do
a
some,
bypass.
they're gonna do some repiping and stuff in to
Yes.
get the gravity. So
Do a
okay.
bypass, gravity bypass, hook it in and let
That'll
it go.
cut back on some electricity too, from running that station, you know,
Yes.
just those 5 houses, different things.
Yes.
What's the pleasure of the council? Everybody know where that's at? Down, around the curve down here,
Yeah, there
Hunter
it is.
Drive, going up
The
on
top
the Goodman
curve.
Housing Project?
Yep.
Right on the very curve.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
okay.
Kinda over behind Laverne, Woodington's and
Yeah.
in front of Earl Hand's house over there.
No, this is number 7. This is on the end of River Road, right? In O'Hara.
Wait a minute now.
Kinda.
It's back.
I mean, it's on O'Hara East. I think,
Off
right?
Old
Isn't
Spanish.
it?
Okay,
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
I'm
on
sorry.
O'Hara East. I'm
That's
sorry.
down by where Ed Yon lives back
Yeah.
there.
Yes,
Yes.
mhm, it's
I'm
on
sorry.
O'Hara East.
I misled y'all.
Yes. Mhm.
Misled y'all, I'm
But-
sorry.
Yeah, essentially it'll save you, hopefully time and money, and, or I'll definitely save both those things, and then save you any future problems down the road,
Yeah,
because you won't have to worry about a whole lift station. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
it cost us $500,000.
that's a good move there for
Yeah.
a little over
Yeah.
100,000, I think.
I'll make a motion to accept
Accept the
it. Go with
change,
it.
motion by Mr. Arnold to accept the change order presented, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Perry, all in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, next item is for approval of interlocal agreement with Jackson County Fire Protection.
This is just an agreement with them that we can, we've done in the past.
Okay, y'all
makes
already
it-
researched it and y'all
Yes,
you
yes,
happy with it?
yes. It's the same thing we've been doing for years. It's an interlocal agreement where we can help each other, with fire protections.
Just no changes, the amount stays the same?
Yes.
Hmm? 20,000? Yes.
Good idea.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Motion by Mr. Arnold to accept the interlocal agreement with Jackson County Fire Protection. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Perry. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried again, thank y'all. Next item will be to remove the ex-town clerk and council member from the bank account loan and add the current town clerk. Need approval for that.
This is where we have our bonds at with United Bank. It still has Sherry on there and, ex-council member, and they were talking to me through emails, but then whenever, they weren't responding back, I don't know if it's because of the federal shutdown or what, I finally called and got someone, then they wouldn't talk to me, even though they were sending me emails back. But they said I needed to have it in the minutes to have them removed and me added. So I just need a motion to that effect, please.
I make a motion to remove the previous and add Danielle.
Motion by Ms. Locke, to that effect.
Second.
Second by Mr. Farmer. All in favor, saying aye?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries, thank you. All right, the next item will be, cybersecurity, Mr. Jason Johnson.
Can I preface this by saying,
Yes, sir.
there's been something going on about cybersecurity with law enforcement, police department. They had a meeting last week with the FBI and FDLE in Mariana, and I wasn't able to go, I was ill. But Jason went for the town of Sneads, and he is our IT guy anyway, understands it a lot better than I do. And this is basically a report from what he found out in Mariana with the county and other people that met at the health department.
Hold on just a minute now, it ain't all that, is it? I mean,
It is all that.
It is all that.
It is.
Honestly, there ain't
Y'all
no
got the
color and
short
it's all fill in
version.
the blank. And so really and truly, that's what. Let me grab this real quick. So on the 21st of October, we met and a lot of discussion about what's going on with cybersecurity nationwide. And a lot of this came down from the FBI. FBI came in, did an audit of FDLE, state of Florida. And they saw some things they wanted to see the FDLE change. And through the conversation, they said, hey, listen, are you making your people who access your networks do these same things? FDLE said, no, but we will. And so that's where this came from. 3 years ago, the audits were about 7-8 pages. Fast forward all these years and went from 7-8 to 19. It's currently 95 pages of audit stuff. And this is just compliance, okay? So every year you have an FDLE audit. This is just the standard compliance. Looking forward to the cybersecurity part of it, we got a lot coming down the pipe. So I just want to go through a couple things real quick. I won't take a whole lot of time. It's going to take a minute, but I won't take much. Criminal justice, FDLE says, they call it CJI. You've heard Brett or the other people say CJIS or something like that. It's short for Criminal Justice Information Services. CJI is Criminal Justice Information. Criminal Justice Information is anything like a background check, drug check, anything like that. Possibly, and I'm not a police officer, I'm not FDLE, but if you run somebody's tag and write them a ticket or something like that, write a report, that could be, depending on if, like an accident, for instance, if there's an accident and there's a criminal component to it, drinking, driving under influence or anything like that, could be CJI. Well, if it makes its way over here, outside there, we've got to secure this just the same. Okay. So FBI wants hardened systems everywhere and want to push it out. So they say we want hardened systems, and they kind of break it down into what hardened systems are. And it's everything from Danielle's desk to the cloud. Okay, so anything that could be, and let me back that up, from the lieutenant's desk, the chief's desk, officer's desk, dispatch, all the way up into the cloud. I'm going to get into that in just a second. But there's a lot of things that we've got to do to make sure everybody's got current signatures with Elvis and Trax. when I did, Mike, you remember this, when I worked for the city close to 20 years ago, 22 years ago, because in 2003, I went down to Panama City and they gave us tracts. And so they've given us tracts. Not one time have I gone and signed saying that I had the latest, greatest training or anything like that. Didn't realize, but that's some of the stuff that they want us to do now. Make sure that we've got the latest, greatest training, and up to date on the cybersecurity stuff. There are some things coming. You got two different things called MFA. If you hear me refer to MFA, it's multi-factor authentication, multi-factor access. Both of them are sort of the same. Multi-factor authentication is, hey, I want to check my email. Hey, we're going to text you a message or text you a code or something like that. Well, that's not going to be acceptable in the police department world anymore. You can't have a push notification, a text message. Email is probably not going to be authorized for very much longer if it is. Password requirements. Now, these are things that need to go into policy. So that's something we'd talk, policy a little bit later. But there are 23, used to be four. There are 23 requirements for passwords now. So we'll have to make passwords more hardened. And then there's going to be a minimum requirement, a very basic minimum requirement, that we have what's called a subdomain with Jackson County Sheriff's Department, and that's where we connect to Sheriff's Office, and that's going to drive up compliance even more. Audit processes are going to get much longer. They emailed us out a pre-audit customized questionnaire, and that's in here somewhere. And we talked a little bit about policy management, IDS and IPS, intrusion detection and intrusion prevention services. This goes to the cybersecurity part that everybody's kind of been talking about, where we really don't know what's coming. FDLE, state of Florida, is going to require cybersecurity for the police department and anything that has CJI attached to it. That's the cars. If they do anything with the laptops outside the cars or whatever, all that stuff's got to happen. So Florida's still working through what they're going to do. They're still figuring it out. We don't know what they're going to do. So just very much like you don't know what your budget is until the state comes out with their numbers in July so that you can start budgeting. Until they say what they are going to require for cybersecurity, we really don't know. All we have is speculation. But everybody that I talk to agrees that, let's just say I've got a company or somebody's got a company and they get the cybersecurity contract to monitor, manage, maintain the security for the state network. They're not going to monitor, manage, and maintain 350 different, that's 65 sheriff's departments and all the police departments, around 550, whatever the number is, different networks. They're gonna say, this is what your network's gonna look like. So the same network that Miami-Dade gets is the same network that Sneads PD is gonna get. We don't need it, but they're not gonna go through all these different networks and say, what do they have? What do they have? No, they're gonna know exactly what it is, because it's gonna be standardized, and it's gonna be standardized to the greatest and not the least. All right. Best case scenario that I can see is going to be $80-ish thousand for the technology, for the stacks. I can't give you something to say here's why it's 80 grand, but just in my head and putting pen to paper on something like this, we're looking about 80 to 100. Now let me tell you a little bit about that. You've got routers and intrusion protection, intrusion detection that has a license to it. You got to buy that license every year. It keeps you with upgrades and a lot of stuff like that. So you don't have to buy the hardware every year. You buy that once every 3 years. And so you'll spend $100,000 every 3 years to get the new hardware, to get the new. you'll spend whatever you're gonna spend every 3 years to get the new hardware, because you won't have to do all the construction again. Here's why you're gonna have to do construction. In here, and me and Danielle I asked Danielle to make a copy of all of this for y'all. There's just no way y'all were gonna go through this. There's just no way that, even if you did, you'd understand it all. This is me, this is my world. But one of the things that's gonna be super costly is multi-factor access. Now that access is a key. They want multi-factor, they want 2 or more ways to access a door, okay, or any entry point. In the police department, that's the front door, that's the lobby door, it's every office door. I guess you got the file room, you got the evidence locker, stuff like that. That the police department has, and I really don't want to say this online, but everybody else is going to figure it out. Everybody knows. It's got a drop ceiling. Well, that drop ceiling looks like the top of the room. Well, it's not. Behind or just above that drop ceiling, you got a wall that goes up about 8 to 10 inches. Well, you pull a tile out, you hop right over that wall, and that key that you got, useless. It don't mean anything. So you're going to have to build the walls up. You're going to have to harden the ceilings. You're going to have to build all that up to comply with this. And they're going to climb up in your ceilings to see if you've done that. Really quick, one of the things that we're talking about, I think I know where it was, but they say that just to get through the audit, it's not going to ever pass again. But one agency put up chicken wire from the, and I was like, that's pretty bona fide right there. Sorry about that. Anyway, I love y'all bona fide. My son-in-law's from bona fide, so I could do that. Anyway, so there's a lot that we're going to have to do. Badging systems are going to be the cheapest thing that you can do. So, y'all seen them all. I've still got my badge on. You walk up to something, you badge it. You also are going to have a key. That's your multi-factor authenticate or multi-factor access right there. It's just going to be a requirement. I think your construction costs are going to be a lot of what you're. Not a lot, but I think it'll be a significant part that we didn't initially, until I went to this, we didn't initially really even think about.
Is that included in the 80?
No.
No, I don't. That's why I started out with 80. I really think construction is going to take you up to 100,000. I don't know. You know what?
Because you're totally remodeling.
Because you're essentially totally remodeling. There's places where, you know.
So the 80 is just for the tech
Yeah,
side?
yeah,
Okay.
roughly, yeah.
And is that yearly or is it like a one-time thing?
That'll be one time. The cost will probably, and again, I don't know until we find out. The cost will probably pull back for some of the, for instance, the racks that you have to put the equipment in. Those racks, $300, $400, $500. It's not that much. The technology, the licensing, the monitoring, stuff like that. That's where your cost is going to come in. That initial purchase is going to be a good solid 100,000. I did a little bit of again, just kind of going through this. I did a little bit of a guesstimate, did a little bit of what I would charge to friends and family discount and all that. For me to handle this for you for a year, run you in the $30,000 range. So you're looking about $110,000 to $130,000 for the first year. I talked with Jackson County Sheriff's Department. We talked about potential for grants. Grants are they're not out there. JCSO had to reduce their cybersecurity budget last year by $100,000 because they didn't have the money and they couldn't get it in a grant.
I've been listening to this for a few months now. I just need to ask, what's it gonna do? I mean, I can't get no more elementary than that. What's this cybersecurity gonna do?
It is going to.
How's it going, is it just to keep somebody that gets arrested's name and record safe? Or
Yeah.
just to
It's
keep-
going. Here, I'll
Keep
simplify.
us safe?
It's
or-
going
or
to keep
what's-
you in compliance with the FDLE and the FBI and you'll get to keep access to criminal justice information networks. If you don't comply, you will not have access to CJI.
Why do you need access to that? I mean, everybody listening, right? I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
So that you can run tags, you
Okay.
can do background checks, you can do warrant, checks for warrants, stuff like that.
It's essential for law enforcement.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute essential,
It's a requirement, right?
100%, yeah.
Uh,
You don't have law enforcement without
To me,
that.
I mean, it looks to me like, like I say, I'm trying to keep it elementary as I can, to where I can understand it. But, it looks to me like this is just an avenue for the state to, for lack of better words, rob these small communities of their money that they might have, or the revenues they might be able to generate, just to fund the, higher quality, whatever they're doing.
Yeah,
What's wrong with the system now? Because we can run a tag now, or we can run a gun number, or we can run a driver's license, anything. I mean,
when they do the audit,
how,
when they do the audit later this month, we'll fail the audit because it's not in compliance with current standards.
They had somebody hacked last year, correct? Isn't that what
The
started all
the
this?
first,
Yeah.
First Circuit
It's
District
happened all
Court.
over the country.
Yeah.
Washington County last year got attacked by a ransomware thing that came in there, and the county had to pay $300,000 to get it released so they could operate their computers again. Somebody in Russia, or God knows where.
Yeah, and so there are a lot
That's
of
the
different,
problem.
agencies in the government are currently leasing back their networks from hackers so they can continue operations. And as long as those lease payments, the rent payments come back because they're hacked. They have access because they have paid the ransom hackers for access. You don't pay, you don't get access to it. They shut it down. You can't do business.
This
I mean,
is
it's-
like more IT equipment to keep you from being hacked, so it's.
And there's no
it's
guarantee.
technical-
What-
It's tech stuff to keep
I
you
mean,
from being hacked. And the FBI is who is requiring it, because they audited the state, FDLE, and found that there were some things that they didn't like that they were doing, and so they're dwindling it down to the smaller entities.
There's a lot of things that you run through the FBI, through that same system, it goes to them, so you're actually accessing the FBI files.
Yeah.
Not more than you're doing state files.
And if somebody was to hack into ours, it goes
It
all
could,
the way up the chain.
But I thought we were paying Jackson County for everything that was being operated off on the desktops and on the laptops.
Well, you still got the internal network where we connect to the internet. All of that basically is a point that could be exploited. And we do have protection in front of it. And it has met requirements up to this point. As of-
I understand that, I just thought.
the
we were-
dispatching,
No.
If you were to write NCIC check,
I
which
thought we were going
they
to
go
their
nationwide,
dispatch service
you see
per
that goes
se,
out all over.
to like
Pull you
run
up, say
tags
if you
and run, get
Only-
on.
only
Some
for
of this,
dispatch.
and then moved here,
Yeah, we can
and they
still
run
run
your local,
Oh,
even
okay.
member
criminal,
If you run an NCIC.
warrant
it goes
searches and stuff like that.
Nationwide.
You can't get by.
So, y'all, on this, we had Jackson County Sheriff's Department, we had the State's Attorney's Office, we had Graceville, Cottondale. Who else do we have? You remember who?
Mariana,
How many?
Mariana PD.
Oh, Mariana, yeah. So I had quite a few people there. A lot of questions got asked. We were pretty thorough. I tried to be writing when nobody else was writing, so I'd have good notes and stuff like that. I know everybody don't want to be out. It's only getting colder, but there's a lot, and not to relive that particular meeting, but there was a lot of the folks that were there from FDLE were there to help us get this right. It wasn't like, hey, we're coming for you, have your stuff together because we're gonna whatever. They sincerely and genuinely wanted to get it right, but the IT people in the room felt kind of attacked because, like, this is insane. You're telling us to do all these things and you're not giving us the resources to do it. How are we supposed to do it? and, you know, they just smile like the best, do the best you can. You know, some of you are gonna fail your audits. And they were super people. I mean, don't hear anything negative about that. But, I mean, this right here is just a literacy awareness training packet. I mean, this is what we should be signing at least quarterly, saying, hey, I've done the most recent training. Me or anybody else. So you're gonna need a full-time administrator, IT administrator, to put this stuff together and follow it. And I know what that's coming across like.
But even with all this put in place, there's still no guarantee in anything they do.
Yeah, well, when people ask me that, what kind of guarantee can you give me? Oh, I can give you 100% guarantee. You're 100% guaranteed to still be at risk.
That's
Yeah, I mean, there's
Ultimately, your goal is to pass compliance.
you want to, and an audit is what they call, was it minimum standards or something like that? You know, this is what they want to be the minimum standards.
Jason, as far as cost goes, as a town manager, I have to keep a budget going.
Right.
So you're saying probably $100,000 just for implementation?
I can't get away from that $100,000 number. Everybody I talk to feels about the same.
And then there's a lot of construction we've got to do to get the facilities that are utilizing this compliant as well.
Yeah.
And then there's how much of a maintenance cost you say per year?
Just for me to do the work, running in the 30-ish range.
And then you're saying that we have to redo this 100,000?
Oh yeah, that's not the licensing. Licensing is going depends on the hardware they make you get, because some of the hardware, Cisco, everybody recognizes Cisco. Right? They may make it Cisco routers or whatever. Cisco routing licensing is per user or per location, and sometimes that per location is thousands of dollars. When I was at the call center, it's been years ago, we were paying $4,000 a year, and that was in 2002 and 3.
When you say user, are you saying like the Sneads being a user, or like me, Bill?
Anybody that accesses the network. So if you have a laptop, that's one user. If you have a desktop and a laptop, that's
Okay.
2 users. If you have a phone, that's 3
Oh,
users.
gosh, okay.
And again, okay, so there's another thing, multi-factor authentication, the push notifications, text, stuff like Duo. Any of y'all use Duo? So like if you have to, you do, yeah. So Duo is an app where it gives you a secure code, and then you put your secure code in. That may pass. I think they said that we could use that, but there's a licensing aspect to that. That's per user. So Brett and Quentin would both have to have a license for that. And they can get it through Jackson County, but Jackson County's just gonna bill us back for it, which still hits the PD budget.
Well, that was my question. I talked with Chief last week, just to clarify some things that were, again, not attacking them, and ultimately, this cybersecurity thing is gonna be the make or break, probably. And he said he was investigating some things, that he had checked with Chattahoochee and was checking around, but he thought that we might not have to have it because the sheriff's department, we already run everything through the sheriff's department anyway, that we don't input. There's some, he was saying all those initials that you were saying there, and that he doesn't run any of that through our department anyway.
Yeah.
So that's not legit. I mean, no, sorry. That's
Not accurate.
not good enough for,
That's right.
okay, that's not good enough for the FDLE to want.
So where he's talking about, running a tag,
Mm-hmm.
that's on their side. All he does is calls it in.
Oh, okay.
Our computers never touched that network, right? They run it, they give him a response back. But if you're ever going to write a report, a car accident, if you're ever going to do investigation, write that up, drug arrest, any kind of arrest, and you got to write it and submit it, all that brings you right back to CGI. And if you have one, then you have to have everything.
You
And
mean
I'm
like one
not saying,
report?
hey, listen, huh?
You mean like one report?
Yeah, one report, one laptop, one desktop.
Okay.
Let's go back to the money again. Can't get off
Is-
the money.
There's money then, is what I hear you saying.
Yeah, so you're talking about initial startup would cost us $100,000, plus we have to do some construction, plus to maintain would cost anybody, you or anybody else, $30,000 a year. And then we'd have to redo the $100,000 when that licensing's up to pay that again.
Minus the construction, minus the hardware, like I say, the
So
rack.
maybe 80 more thousand.
80, yeah.
in 2 or 3 more
80%, let's do it. Whatever that number winds up being, let's say 80% of that. Because
You'd have
that,
to do that every year?
every 3 to 4 years, yeah.
Every 3 years.
Because it's just like a computer, you don't want to, wait for a computer to die before you get something else, in there. Computers get slow, routers get slow, they become ineffective. The life cycle of a router, you can only upgrade it so much. They will only upgrade it so much because guess what? If they continue to upgrade it indefinitely, they don't sell new routers. Now, that's not my business model, that's the world's business model. It's planned obsolescence, and they're just gonna say, as of, just like with Windows, a lot of y'all are seeing it, as of October this year, Windows 10 is no longer supported. Same thing with routers. As of, October 2027, this router is not going to be supported. Won't get updates anymore. So you immediately become out of compliance the first time an update day rolls around and you don't have that update. So you're back in the buying cycle. And by the way, you're buying from state contract where they say, here's
What you have to
here's
have.
the approved vendor, here's who you buy from, here's what you have to have.
And just to have a computer system, that's gonna run almost 1/10 of our total general budget per year.
So the state will have their own approved vendor that you will have to go through.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is your suggestion for us, Jason?
Well,
That's-
you can always go back to how it used to be years ago. You would call in a tag to the county. The most you could do would have your laptop that went to a printer in your car, have it where they could fax the information to the office.
If you connect to the network, if you connect anyway, it doesn't matter because
Well, they wouldn't be connected to them.
Well,
If you
the
got a
computer-
laptop and you're typing your report,
if,
and you print it out to take to the jail, then that's the end of it. It's like when we used to handwrite.
But that was
what
the
happens
old
when
days.
somebody
You still have to put it into a system so that people know
yeah,
it.
right, somebody steals a laptop, you lose it. That's the
When do we need to start?
when we need to start.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Start what? Okay, so yesterday, but until we know what you need to buy, I can't go down that road for you.
They don't have a vendor's list out yet. of what-
They don't
None of
have,
that's in-
yeah, so the state, from what I understand, has reached out to all the vendors like a Christmas wish. Hey, this is what we want.
Mhm.
I love y'all, but let's say I didn't, and y'all said, hey, Jason, this is what we want. I'm gonna give you everything you asked for. You know what I mean? And, but the vendors are gonna sell you as much as they possibly can, and they're gonna justify that sale as much as they possibly can. So imagine that the vendors are kind of seeing what the best of the best would look like, and I'm sure the state would whittle it away or whatever. Bottom line is, we've got an audit coming up, and here's what used to be 7 or 8 pages.
When's our audit?
It's usually in November. I hadn't been notified that they were coming yet, and typically Brett or the chief would be notified, or the admin assistant, whoever. And I hadn't heard from them on that, so.
Well,
I don't have an answer for you. I'm glad I don't have to make a decision, but
So it sounds like we just sit and wait.
No, what do you mean sit and wait?
You gotta wait on prices to come out, vendors to come out, all that.
No, we've got an audit in November, you can't wait.
well, what we can do is make plans, and we can give a best effort and start working that way. But
Yeah, if they implement this new cybersecurity, they come here and fill us an audit this November.
Yeah.
I mean, they gonna have to realize, look, you know, these folks has got to come up with a plan, you know, to get this money up and get this thing started. I mean, we ain't got the money right now,
Right.
We don't got the money to come up with.
you know, and, so, I mean,
That's one-tenth of our whole budget.
that's what I'm saying. If you
Just
fail
to
to audit,
be
if you
able
fail
to
to audit this
get it
month,
running.
all they can do is just slap you on the wrist and say, this new cybersecurity thing's fixing to take place, so y'all need to start working towards what you got to do.
How are we gonna come up with it every 3 years?
Yeah, and that's the other thing, that ongoing cost. I honestly don't see, and, you know, living in the county, I'm calling from the cheap seats, right? I want y'all to know that. I know that it's easy for me to stand here and say, but, without raising water bill and
No,
taxes,
don't talk like that.
okay?
You can't do that.
You can't do
You
water
can't-
bills.
you can't- The only funds that we get are funds from state taxes and that, and it's set, that's our general
Yeah.
fund. Water sewer takes care of water sewage, we can't increase that, so there's nothing we can increase.
Couldn't you do
For
it,
our
and
general
I
budget.
don't wanna see a tax go up on the people, I don't, but couldn't you do a police tax, or,
We already got one, don't
I thought you did,
we? Yeah, we already have one.
But-
No, police tax, no.
but,
You know how much you'd have to go up to raise $100,000?
yeah, a lot. So I did that math too, and it's about $35. It's about $35 to cover all the expenses and
They
costs.
can't even buy groceries.
I'm gonna say what was told to me, and I'm just gonna lay it out there. When this came up and all the sheriff's departments got together, they had their state meetings. I was told that there were 500 small communities
Yeah.
that had to give up their police department and go to the sheriff's department because they just couldn't afford it anymore. I can't tell you
Couldn't afford
which-
it because of this?
Well, because of things that's happened in the past, it's just gotten between the mandatory, you know, pay raises and the insurance going up and the retirement going up and just the cost of.
And the risk,
stuff
I mean,
going up.
the
And
liability.
then you add $100,000 here to a small town, it's just,
Was that $35 a month for the bill to go up?
Yeah.
Well, so, okay, so in that, well, yeah. I think that's the number I came up with.
I just don't think we can afford it. I don't know. That's my thoughts.
You
We
know,
don't have
and-
any
and-
money
and it's
now.
not
We
whether
sure
you
can't
wanna
come up
do
with
it or-
100,000.
Yeah.
whether you wanna do it or don't wanna do it, it just gets to a point to where the state puts on enough requirements that you have to do that you can't afford to do it. And that's what's happening, people are being forced out, not because they want to or don't want to, they can't afford to. And that's what's happening. And that's what I'm hearing all over the state of Florida.
And it's a way to squeeze out the municipality.
That's what's happening.
Well, I agree with that,
That's
I
exactly
agree
what
with
they're gonna do.
but there's, I don't know, guys. I didn't, you
And
know,
we appreciate you being honest with us and going and sitting through that and,
These audits, do they do these once a year for police departments? or are
Every
they
year.
done Every year?
Yeah, and so the way that works, if you don't meet compliance, they'll set a date, usually 30, 60, 90 days out, depends on the level of non-compliance or, you know, where you
Well,
need to
they
be.
can't hold us in compliance this month for something that they hadn't even implemented yet, can they? I don't see how they could. I don't
Well,
think
I
they
think,
can.
and again,
Did we fail to audit last year?
I don't know,
I don't know.
we had things we had to get fixed, it's mostly a paperwork
Yeah.
thing.
Well, it should be the same deal right now until they implement this new system, I mean,
Yeah, surely
Yeah.
because
But
you
it-
can't.
but
are we
even
gonna be
if-
able to fix it by next year?
But even if we pass the audit this month and they wait, we still gotta come up with.
Right, yeah, that's
120,
something coming, I
$35.
see it coming right after the first of the year, to tell you the truth. I mean, I think they were waiting on, I mean, I think we'll see this coming out this budget cycle. I really do.
They'll probably let this year slide and start with a new fiscal year.
Yeah.
But you still gotta start implementation.
Right.
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 So the
Who
funding,
awards that?
Well, I mean, you could have honestly gotten up here there, Jason, and told us, hey, you know, it's gonna be easy, it'll only be this, so we appreciate you being honest.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
you
no,
could
no.
make some big change on this. I mean, we know that. You could make good money on this.
yeah.
And you're honest with us, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, and honestly, well, I mean, I gotta do a business, but this is not the way I wanna do it. I mean, it's not, I just think it's not unfair because I get it, because I think we should, but it's just a bad time. It's a
Is
bad
it a
time.
complicated program too? Like, I
Oh,
mean,
yes. Oh, it is not easy. I mean,
so like
it-
Chief and Sergeant Hollis is gonna have to go through trainings and
Mhm.
stuff like that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and it would be something possibly, we'd go to the sheriff's department, maybe I would develop it with the sheriff's department, and we'd all go there and train or something like that, so.
Mhm.
I mean, I see a lot of benefit, and I actually have talked with, the sheriff's department, and they have been willing to, some of the easier things to go ahead and do and implement. They've agreed to do that heavy lifting, but they're still gonna bill us back for it. It's still gonna hit the budget.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so, I mean, we can do what it takes to not fail so badly, but this, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this, and,
Well, I shouldn't expect you to.
yeah. But anyway, is that it? I mean, y'all got any more
Well, let's see
questions?
what the budget, I mean, the audit says, and then we just know how to make a move after that, I mean. I'm sure, if you indicate we're gonna fail this
What-
audit that they're gonna do in November, they can't audit us. They not auditing us for next year, they auditing us for this past year,
Well,
correct?
look, and I hear you, and I'm not trying to make it worse,
Yeah.
but pass or fail on the audit doesn't change anything about the cost this
I
coming.
understand that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, yeah.
Yeah, the cost is gonna be exorbitant.
But I think what he's asking is, you know, if you fail it, you know, or pass it, whatever, then how long are they gonna be allowed to get things done?
As long as
we're
we're
able to
working,
even
as
do it?
long as we're working towards making it right, you know, bringing it into compliance.
Making a progression forward.
Exactly. Well, they'll work with us.
Probably had-
Where are we gonna get the money though, y'all? I mean, I'm just asking you an honest question because as far as I could tell what we've looked at, we're barely keeping the 2 cops we've got.
Danielle and I have looked at it, because we knew this was coming.
Not that much though.
There's not that much extra money. We've got other things that the town is looking at, like $195,000 that we gotta pay FEMA. And, you know, just a lot of things that are going on right now, and
I wanna say this
that just puts us in a bad situation. We just put it to you like that.
also. Again, it was a great meeting, a lot of great people. And as we were talking, I said, hey, if y'all hear of any grants or anything that would be helpful, let me know. Not thinking about, everybody's out there to save their own, you know. And with the sheriff's department having to cut their budget by $100,000 because grant funding wasn't available. And now we've got everybody else diving in this pool. I don't want to say anything negative, but
If the whole state's having to do it,
yeah,
everybody's gonna be
yeah,
trying
with
to get grant
everybody
money.
having to do it, I mean, I don't see it happening, y'all.
Bottom line is, we just gonna have to do what we gotta do. So
Yeah. It may not be what you wanna do
$35 a
though.
month on the water bill, for police protection, you know, they would run us all out of this
You can't.
town.
Well, the thing about it is,
Some folks better
it's
go
not
for it
even
now.
what you want to do.
Some
not
folks
what
better
you
go for what they
don't
paying
wanna
now.
do.
That's what I'm saying.
It's what you can afford to do. That's really all it boils
Times are
down to.
hard. Thank you though, like I say, for being
Very
honest with us.
much.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
All right, then let's move right along to resolution number 25-12, budget amendment, general fund.
This is, for the general fund. This is an amendment to last year's budget, because pretty much every one of them was because of grants, or hurricane, or FEMA, or something like that, but a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Sneads, Florida, amending Resolution 24-09, adopted by the Town Council on September the 30th, 2024, adopting a budget for the fiscal year 24-25 of the Town of Sneads by increasing the amount budgeted to the general fund in the amount of $1,207,500. Such increase shall be funded by excess funds in the general fund provided by effective date. This is for the expenditures and equipment for the principal debt. Like I said, a lot of this is because of the Dotson Park, and
Lift station?
Old Town Park. I couldn't think of the other part now. But most of it is because, and like the log cabin and stuff like that, is mostly grant funds and stuff
What's
like
the pleasure
that.
of the council?
I make a motion to accept this resolution 25-12.
Motion by Ms. Mock to accept this resolution is read. Do I have a second?
No second.
Second by Kay. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item number 9, resolution number 25-13, budget amendment, water and sewer fund.
Okay, this is a resolution of the town council of the town of Sneads, Florida, amending resolution 2409, adopted by the town council on September the 30th, 2024, adopting the budget for the fiscal year 2024-25 of the town of Sneads by increasing the amount budgeted to the water and sewer fund in the amount of $1,163,000. Such increase shall be funded by excess funds in the water and sewer fund, providing an effective date. This is for debt services, equipment, and hurricane repairs. Most of all of this is lift station 4. And then some of it is also the backhoe.
And these are grant funds that came in and have gone out.
Yes. That weren't in the last year's budget, so they carried over into this year, so we have to put it back into last year's budget.
Need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Arnold to accept the resolution is read. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Terrell. All in favor saying aye. All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 10, resolution 25-14, budget amendment, solid waste fund.
A resolution of the town council, I'm not gonna reread this whole title, I'm just gonna tell you what it is. It's all the same as the other two, except for it's the solid waste fund, in the amount of $21,000. Such increase shall be funded by excess funds in the solid waste fund, providing an effective date. This is for expenditures for other contract services. What this is for Waste Pro. What it is we always have one bill that it gets paid in the previous year back and forth. So this is a bill that was paid in October that was for last year's budget.
Motion to accept?
Motion to accept resolution is read by Mr. Arnold. Do I have a second?
No second.
Second by Kay. All in favor saying aye. All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 11, resolution 25-15, budget amendment for the gas tax fund.
Okay, this is for the gas tax fund, in the amount of $42,300. Such increase shall be, funded by excess funds in the gas tax. This is for, most of this was for the paving, that the county helped us with, for Gloucester, where we had to put it in, and it wasn't budgeted for.
Pleasure of the council.
Make a motion to accept resolution 25-15.
Motion by Mr. Perry to accept the resolution is read. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Arnold. All in favor saying aye. All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Recreation Coordinating Committee, anybody, you got any comments on recreation tonight, anybody?
Things are going well, they're working hard down there on the park, they've got a lot of people signed up for their recreation activities, record numbers, I understand. They're doing work on the ballpark, trying to get some of the lights done till we can get grants and done. I'll talk to them about that a little bit more in a minute, but they seem to be working hard.
No, thank you. You move into your report, sir.
All right, some of the things I got on here was appropriations are being requested for, I just got it in from our lobbyists, I'll ask for $400,000 for the ball field lights, and I've talked with, Senator Trumbull, and I think that it looks very positive. There's no guarantee when you're talking about the legislature, but I think he's gonna really be pushing hard to help us get that money. So we've got an appropriation that we're submitting anything now to the lights. We met with them about that. And we are gonna ask for some monies, to purchase the old IGA building for a public safety building. Everybody in the county pretty much has got a new public safety building except us. We looked at some options, there's places to put it, we do have other places to put it, but the people with the fire department like the structure there. We've gone inside and looked at it, the metal in there, all the structures are solid. And we can probably do it for probably half the cost of building one from the ground floor up. So we met with the people at the IGA the other day, trying to work out a cost. We're working on that now. And if we get a settlement, an agreement on that, then we'll ask for appropriation for this year in a two-phase project to go in and secure the building, have that in our name, and then next year ask for appropriation to do the construction. And we're hoping to get that done, and we'll be able to move, a lot of, it's a huge, huge building out there. It'll take care of all of our needs for the fire department and then some, so. Don't know that it's gonna be successful, we'll just have to wait and see, but we're working on it. I work with the Appalachian Regional Planning Council in Tallahassee. We've submitted a $1.2 million grant request for a water system project and computerized water meters. We should be hearing back from them in the next few weeks. They feel confident, but it looks good, but I won't give you any guarantees, but that'd be something great. We could fix our water system and get, the computerized water meters for the future, and our water system will be set for years and years and years to come. So I'm hoping that gets worked out. The town, Hunter Potts here has submitted a grant for us to do with the Florida Commerce for a study for our downtown, for our revitalization, and to do some work on our downtown. And we just got accepted that grant for $45,000. So we'll be able to use that to maybe do some strategic planning on what we can do for our downtown areas and the like. And so that's just for the planning part, and then we'll see what we get, and then we can talk about some implementation down the road with other grants. We are in the process of hiring a new deputy clerk. That process is ongoing. We should know something shortly. Finalizing the details to purchase a new dump truck. The FEMA still has those excess funds, and I just got to get a couple more quotes. I think I was hoping I could do it through the county's process of the source well, but they're telling me I might need to get a couple of extra quotes. But once we do that, then we can go purchase the truck. FEMA's got $102,000 that will go toward the truck, and then we'll finance the balance of it. But ours is in the shop. We got millings coming. We have no way of hauling them. We're in a kind of a tight, and this would be a perfect timing for us to get that. The town, I wanted to bring this up tonight. As y'all know, we had iParametrics that was in a contract long before I started here. I see, and I agree with you. iParametrics was the company that was hired to take care of our post-hurricane FEMA stuff. And it was long before I started, and I came in on the tail end of it. But their contract's up, and they're wanting us to renew it and sign an extension to their contract. I'm very hesitant to do that because I've not been pleased with the work that we had. The guy that worked with us for several years got to the point he wouldn't even return my calls. I was doing his work for him to FEMA. I was sending in monthly and quarterly reports. They were telling me how to do them because we couldn't get him to do them. They've since fired him, and we have another person that's doing it. But I think the lack of continuity and work by the iParametric person probably cost us millions of dollars.
Yeah. All we got was a little bit of fence work done out there.
Millions of dollars.
Out of our money that we paid for insurance for the buildings and stuff, we still don't have nothing.
Yeah.
Then anything, a little bit of fence work is all.
They drug their feet.
So anyway,
I'm
what I would like to suggest, but I'd like for the council to approve that, because I told them, I told them we weren't happy with them, and the council wasn't happy, and I was gonna take it in front of the council, because they were trying to pressure me to signing an extension, and I'm not one to be pressured. And so, I just told them, look, I'm gonna talk to the council, we'll get back with you, but we're not happy with the stuff that happened through Mark Albright. And they understood that, but they're still pressuring me. So I want to take it before the council tonight, and my recommendation is that we open it back up to bid. I know some other people that would probably do a lot better that are local, more local than them, and put this out for bid and get us another person to do our FEMA. In case we have another natural disaster, I want somebody on board that's gonna be for us and not cause us the problems that we've already had.
sure.
Is the council okay with me?
I make a motion, or whatever we gotta do, please, yes,
Do we rebid this?
please,
To
Second.
re-advertise.
re-advertise, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion by Ms. Locke, to that effect.
Second.
Second by Mr. Arnold, all in favor, say aye. All opposed?
I think everybody's in agreement. We've been
Yes, sir.
frustrated with them. And to that point, I got an email a couple days ago we still had $1 million something that they were fussing about for the fencing, or, excuse me, the lighting, and they finally denied it. So it's done, so. But we are going with other routes, you know, we've already got the one lights through the Department of Agriculture. We got this appropriation, we hope to get it done, so we may not need FEMA, but they denied over $1 million worth of work on our ball field last week, so.
And they just made us jump through those hoops just
Or
to,
nothing.
Just for no reason, and they picked no reason, but you can't find them.
no.
No.
I've tried. I think the next thing I put on there was FEMA's denied the town's funds to replace the lights at Little Book. We saw it's coming and looking at alternatives, which we just did, so. Stormwater grant engineering plans are being finalized. They're waiting on a railroad permit at a cost of $75,000 just to get a permit to bore up underneath the railroad, but that's what they charge. It will come out of the grant, but once we get that done, Hunter, is that correct? Then we'll be good, and we got a lot of stuff going on with stormwater. It's like a $4 million grant,
Yeah, I think the construction budget's like 3.5.
$3.5 million so to do some stormwater stuff will include ditches and drainage in areas. Holly Street's one of the ones on there, and maybe even some paving, maybe when they tear it up.
Yeah, I'll get you an updated map as soon as we can.
So we may, you know, as part of this, you know, they'll be doing some stormwater is the main issue, but when they tear up, they'll have to repave, so we may get some paving out of it. So, and they should start on that in the near future once they get the railroad permit, done. We'll be out of the office Wednesday through Friday of this week, I just want to let y'all know that. And, I also, you know, we sold the T-Mobile contract, you know, a while back to get funding for infrastructure stuff, and we're just getting that started, which was good. You know, we got $500,000 for that. It's coming in slowly, but over a 10-year period. It's something that we could use for infrastructure. Verizon has made contact with me about leasing a space on one of our water towers. So not only would we get that money that we did before, we won't be losing anything if we can get the other one to come in and sign a lease contract with us as well. So I'm working on that. I'm working with our attorneys to make sure we can get that done. I know there's complications. You can't put two on one, but we got two water towers. So we may can put it on the other water tower and get a lease and start bringing some money in for that. So that's just another way of earning a little bit more money. That's all I got, unless y'all have any questions for me.
Appreciate all you're doing, sir.
Yeah,
Keep
thank you
up the good
very
work, man.
much.
Keep us moving along. And, keep on the lookout and keep us posted on this cybersecurity stuff, know where we can start,
I'm scared.
you know, for all that stuff. Mr. Attorney, you're here tonight, so police department's not here, or Mr. Russell, fire department, you got any comments you'd like to make, or anything you need to share with us?
Well, just, last week we had 2 days of training on the new truck, showing everything, all the gadgets on it. Caleb's coming back Thursday to finish putting everything else on it that belongs on it, and Friday it should be in service.
Good deal.
Right.
I gotta get the tag.
Great, man.
Yeah, we can tag them.
I've got to get to Mariana, they're making me go up
Appreciate
there.
all your
You ready to spend the day?
Yeah, I
I just
haven't
want,
made it there
I
yet.
just want to say that Brett's sick today, and that's why he's not here. And Dan had a meeting in another city. We changed ours, and it conflicted
Okay.
with his,
No
and that's the
problem.
reason he's
Okay.
not here tonight.
All right, Mr. Perry?
Yeah, before, Bill, didn't you have something for, Hunter?
Excuse me?
For Hunter?
Yes, it's Hunter, Millen Engineering, who we've had a contract with for a while, has, their contract is up, and it's actually been up for a while. We've been utilizing their services, and it's never slowed anything down. But it's time to possibly to renew their contract with us. I will say from my point of view, as a new manager who's had to learn in the last 2 years a bunch, Hunter and that group has been invaluable to us. Brett Melvin is doing all of our stuff on the sewage systems. Gene Nobles is working on our stormwater stuff. That the company has just gone above and beyond. And I recommend that we go ahead and do the extension through, is it 2026 we're gonna do initially?
Yes, it's to May 2026, I believe is what that paper says. And that, with the contract, it's just a kind of like a blanket contract, and there's no value assigned to it unless you issue a task work order per each individual project. So if something comes up, we don't have to go out to bid for it. You know, spend an extra month or two, you just go ahead.
Pleasure, council.
So move.
All right. Motion by Mr. Perry for for the
Second.
extension contract for professional facility services with David H. Millen Incorporated Engineers. The second by Ms. Law. All in favor, saying aye. All opposed? Motion carries, okay? I need to sign this, or?
Yes.
And then I'll make a copy of it.
I think there's two copies there, one for, one.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Mr. Chair.
You got anything else, Mr. Perry?
Yes, the last thing I have is, once we get the new deputy clerk hired, one thing I do want us to not forget about is, having paychecks where they could go with direct deposit. That is something I still want us to look at in the future.
I'm gonna work
direct
on that
deposit.
probably after the first year.
So,
I'm all for that, you know.
I haven't forgotten about it, I'm just,
yeah, I know it's been a
It's
lot
been
going
budget
on
strain,
and
yeah.
everything, and I
Yeah.
know it's a lot, so I
Yeah.
just wanted to keep that on our radar.
yeah,
I
I haven't
appreciate
forgot
that.
about it, I'm
Daniel's been
working on
doing
it.
two jobs for a while now, and it's, well, hopefully that's gonna be straightened out,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Ms. Law.
The parade is on December 13th, is that right, Danielle?
Yes,
Okay. We want it to be as big, and I'm assuming the first ladies of Sneads are gonna help like they did before, have they mentioned that?
yes, I talked to, Susie actually today,
Mm-hmm.
and so they still are wanting to do like they did last year, come here and do like the toys and stuff like that. I think they were probably gonna wanna ask for another donation to help get that, so I don't know if y'all wanna do a donation towards that to help them, get the toys, to give away here like
Mhm.
we did last year, but they
It was
said
really
yes.
nice.
That was really good.
I'd be in favor of it because it was real nice.
Yeah,
What they
well,
done, it was really
Everybody thought that
amazing.
it was
It's one of
really
the best
good.
things
It was
we've done in this
amazing.
town in a while, it was just
Mhm.
great, that Christmas parade
Yeah.
and the activities afterwards, I was really impressed with it.
Mhm.
Well, I want us to really push for a big parade, and anybody you talk to that you think they might wanna be in the parade, I think we should encourage them. I already had Tracy Litford contacted me today and asked could they put a float in. I said, yeah, there'll be a sign-up sheet, I'm sure, on the website
I'm
shortly.
working on
and-
that, I've been working on that actually at home, trying to
Yeah.
get that together.
Well, I mean, I'm not hurrying
Yeah,
you, but I was just
should-
reminding people.
I've actually got it about ready, I should have it ready to go out and play
Yeah.
tomorrow.
But we had a lot of participation last year, and I'll be glad to call that list if we kept up with it, like Smokey the Bear, people like that might have forgotten
Corps of
about
Engineers
us.
came.
Yeah.
I just have one thing to say about Christmas. Daniel and I ordered some lights last year, so we've got some lights to put with our other lights. And we went through, we identified every pole from city limits to city limits that had electricity running through it, that did not have a hookup to put the poles, to put the lights up. We identified 33 poles that would really brighten the town up wider, bigger, you know. So I got REA to West Florida, there's still always be REA to me, to go out there. They identified the poles, marked them and everything, and we were getting a price to put the plug-ins where we could plug them in. And I got it last week, and it's $550 per pole.
Ooh.
For 33 poles, which would be $16,500
We,
just for electrical hookups.
we thought they would just charge us for like the equipment.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous, I'm sorry, as a customer of them
Yeah,
too. I
we thought it
mean,
was gonna be just for like the equipment, but they're charging for every single thing, like the
Bucket-
worker, the bucket
guy,
truck, the
$120 for a
this,
bucket
this,
truck
and
guy.
this, and this, everything.
Who done that
Solar
thing?
lights.
And
We even called Graceville.
I
Oh, yeah, call
called,
Graceville.
I called,
We called
yeah.
everybody.
He called
I
him.
called, our, Mr. Alford, our representative, and he was checked on it for me, because it was, and I got a call back from Graceville, and they said that that's what it was gonna cost, and they had charged.
Well, they
Brand
took,
New's the same
it
thing.
was 553.
He
They
gave us
took
some
off
rate, he
$3.
rounded it down to 550 from 553.
I'm sorry, I do not believe it costs that much to put those little things up there, which takes about 5 minutes.
Well, you gotta get electricity up there too, where you can
Well,
plug it
they
in.
got the electricity, it's just the hookup.
It's just the hookup.
It's just the hookup to plug in. That's, because they got electricity there, just something for us to plug in. It's $550 per pole.
Well,
Still gotta be put in.
Gotta be put in.
you know, it ain't just as simple as taking a end of 110
I know.
cord up there,
Yeah.
because you
I
got
know.
7,700 volt wires, you know.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
don't
nobody.
wanna do it.
But I just wanna let the town know that, you know, we're
I still don't think it's worth
Donations are
$550
accepted for
a
that.
month.
We're
My husband
trying-
works
we're
with an
trying
electric
to- you know,
company.
we
Does
got
there,
these
I didn't
anybody
think
wanna
it
buy a
did
pole?
Huh?
Anybody wanna buy a pole hookup?
Um,
Yeah.
We're accepting
And
donations.
then we'll put a
for
little sign on it, whoever, does
a
that.
pole
That's a good idea.
donation. Hookup.
So
Okay.
if we don't have more lights than what we had last year, we tried.
We'll just put the new ones up then.
We're gonna put the new ones up, but we wanted to expand it and make more.
I know, it's
So-
sad.
Anyway, I just want to show that we're attempting to do those things, but
I'm just
money
curious
is-
as to who puts up Greenfield's lights, just, I'd like to know that.
I can find out.
I would like for you to find out.
I've got a contact. I can
Okay,
find out.
thank you.
But I just wanted y'all to know that money keeps us from doing a lot of things,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know?
me too.
Not for anybody else, but the LED lights, solar powered LED lights for outside utility poles, $280.
Let's do
That's
that.
price.
Solar lights, that's what it says.
Did you hang?
Yeah,
No, we're talking about like that actual.
like on the utility pole. I know what you're talking about.
You do about like a Christmas light with the wings and angels and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, if we can do that, that might be money better spent. That might be money
Hey.
better spent.
Well, what I was seeing you looking at, it didn't look
Well, I
like
know
that.
about
Oh,
that.
oh, okay.
Anything
I said, you look like you was looking at regular Christmas lights. String lights.
So we're gonna pursue that, we're gonna work on the parade, I'll help you however I can, I'm not gonna be here, but, for the parade, but I'll help in any way possible up until
Girl.
then, sorry, I'm gonna be at Disney. What was the other thing? Oh, the school zone thing, have you heard any more about us canceling that out?
He's supposed to call me back. I'm giving him ample time. I've got a number to call if I need to, and just see what we're looking at, but he has not gotten back with me yet.
And last thing, and I know some of y'all are gonna boo, 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 but, I'm all for our chief having a car at his house, but our sergeant is using his vehicle inappropriately, I don't know another word to use, whatever, and it's been hearsay, so I don't go by hearsay, I have to see, and I actually saw it with my own eyes this week, so I did talk to chief and ask him to speak with him. But that's wear and tear on it, that's our gas, that's money right there. So I think we need to think about, I mean, he's not on call. That'd be one less cost all the time, but I'm just putting that out there. And that's all I got.
Don't let him.
Not drive it home, yeah,
Not drive
not,
it home.
right, just drive, I mean, we got maintenance men, they don't drive their personal, I mean, they don't drive a vehicle home, and, it's a nice luxury, but you need to utilize it correctly. So,
You want me to talk to the chief about that, or?
I actually talked with the chief when I saw what happened, and he confirmed it, that I did see what I thought I saw, so, and he told me he would talk with him, so I've done that part, so if it's something we wanna address next meeting, it's fine, you know.
I don't think we have to have a meeting on it, but I mean, if that's the consensus of the board, one way or the other, I can relay the message. So whatever the consensus of the board is. So it's just a matter of him not driving it back and forth.
Correct, yeah, back and forth to home and work, just driving his own personal vehicle.
Right. I think that's what most of the smaller agencies do, but I don't know about the larger agencies. I don't know.
Not anymore, they all are take-home anymore.
That's not true, because I talked to Graceville, and they don't do it.
They don't do it
No,
anymore?
they don't do it. I know they
Stop
don't.
them. Stop.
I don't know when they started and stopped, I just know they don't do it.
I mean, if y'all don't have a problem with it, that's fine, I mean, I'm just,
Well, I got a problem if it's abusing the privilege or doing something they ain't supposed to be doing, you know, I mean, we can't tolerate that, but I'd like for you to talk with the chief, and if he's already told you he was gonna talk to Hollis, and y'all talk, and if you deem it necessary for him to stop his privilege, we'll have to do it, you know, and get,
It certainly would save money, he's
Right.
not on call, and that's that's the thing, that if he was on call and was being called out, that'd be one thing.
I'd like for you to communicate with the chief on it, keep him
Oh.
involved in it, and y'all make a
Okay.
decision.
well, and that's why I called the chief immediately, I didn't want any hearsay, I wanted him, that's his supervisor,
Right.
so I wanted him handling it. But, you know, we don't have any extra vehicles for him to use, and the wear and tear on it So if you're not gonna use it right, you know, so that's just my
If
perspective.
you don't use it right, your privileges is taken away.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
I'll talk with Chief and Hamlet. I'll let you know at the next meeting.
You got it?
Thank you. That's all I got.
Okay.
No.
Hey, I'd like to thank all the veterans out there.
Yes.
In the town, everywhere, all over the country, in the room tonight. You know,
Amen.
thank you veterans for what y'all done in the past. You defend this country tooth and nail. Thank you.
Oh, that's it?
Motion to adjourn.
Won't leave me out.
Don't leave me out.
El Presidente.
My question is about taking Jason's is, but I ain't gonna say it all about it. Oh, the nuisance things we've been talking about. Follow back up on that, please, and,
I've been all over it.
like I say, we, you know, that on Upper Highway 9 at the caution light, that's, you know, those.
I've sent him 2 letters, and I'm gonna send him a more threatening letter with the fact that we're gonna start charging him. I've talked with the guy on Polk Street, we got into an argument basically on the phone, and I just told him that we were done, we were gonna go ahead and start charging him and put a lien against his property. He called back, said there's no need to do that, I'm gonna do this. I had to get around there and check, I don't think it's gonna happen. I've talked to our attorney to go ahead and draw up the paperwork to get the fines and the lien started, so we can go ahead and place it on the
Same way
property.
with the dude on Polk Street over there, I mean, he can hang out.
That's what I'm
Who
talking
are you
about.
talking about?
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Anyway, down here across from the
I
California,
believe that.
this stuff, not only kind of eyesore on our main thoroughfares, but the kids walking up down the sidewalk,
Yeah.
you don't know what's holding up in these places, and,
That door's open in that house. I've sent him 2 letters, and I'm fixing to do the same thing with him that I'm doing with him. We're gonna go ahead and start until we may wind up owning the property with so many fines, but he's not responding at all.
well, the reason I'm saying what I did, you know, Clay Wells is what, city manager at Mariana, or?
Over the water and sewer.
Over waters, okay. Anyway, they've, got something similar to what we got going on with, these nuisance properties, and, a guy that I'm working with got a place here in Mariana. He's moved to Panama City, but he let it stay jumped up, so they give him the letters they're supposed to get, give him the option, and he had till yesterday afternoon by dark to have it done. If not, Mariana was seizing, placing the lien on the property. It was end of the discussion, end of the story. So, I mean, I know there's some teeth in that thing or somewhere, so we can make a move on it.
Well, I've talked to our attorney, and he's not here tonight, but I've instructed him to go ahead and get the paperwork due and start the lien in the process.
And this old boy over here, like I say, he might be running that store about being in Jacksonville all the time, but just about every other day you see him down here at McDaniel's.
He's
going up
back
on
in.
Red Blazer, so,
Yeah.
he's close by, but.
Yeah, I had a good, conversation with him last week.
But other than that, has anybody noticed anything on, Daniel?
Real quick, back to the First Ladies of Sneads, did y'all want to make a donation towards
Yes.
those toys or not?
Yes.
And if so,
Yes.
how much?
Yes.
What did we give last year?
Last year, y'all gave 1,000.
Are we able to do that? I mean, comfortable, I mean, can you do that? 'Cause I'm telling you, that was a big hit last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is money in there for aid to, you know,
Okay.
organizations if y'all want to do
One of y'all
it.
wanna make a motion to do
I
that?
make
for
a
me?
motion, let's donate.
Motion by Ms. Locke to donate 1,000 to the
$1,000,
First Ladies
yeah.
of Sneads for the Christmas, celebration. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, a couple places. All in favor, saying aye?
That's money well spent.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure for it.
Yes, sir.
You know, I mentioned, the traffic camera things up here, so, did you ever find out who's gonna pay for the electricity that runs from? That was a big question at one of the meetings.
I have talked with them about disbanding the whole thing. And they're supposed to get back with me, that's what they were talking about, getting back with me. I told them that it was done, it wasn't presented to us like it really is, there's a lot more to it than that. We've gone from several officers to a couple, it's more than they can do. It's in the wrong place, I mean, there's like several problems. And I said, I suggest there may be some administrative costs for what they put down there. We'll see what that is, we'll negotiate that. But my option, and I've talked to the council about it, is to remove it. It's just gonna be a speed trap, is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a nightmare, and it's gonna cost a lot
Cost some money.
of money for us to have to hire. You have to hire somebody to be a hearing officer.
Yeah.
We have to track down drivers. If this person says, I'm not the driver, we gotta do an investigation. I mean, just a whole lot. We have to hire a traffic guard to let people go across Highway 90 when there ain't two people that go across.
You need to get up on time.
It's a waste of a lot of stuff.
I'm just wondering if you ever found out.
I've got a call into them, I've already talked with them, but I hadn't heard back from them, but I got their number to
And I
call
don't
them.
get, and I don't guess we're gonna pursue any grants for any more police officers since, because of this thing here?
Don't know. You know, there's a lot of financial issues. I don't know that we can, I don't know how many grants are available right now.
Well, that's my man.
Well,
I don't wanna come off as being anti-police department, I think everybody knows I support the police department. But what you're talking about with every new user, every new car, every new setup, you're talking about exponentially raising the cost of doing business over there.
You include that in the cost, you include that in your price for your, you know, when you put in for your grant, you would include that in the cost of the daily officer.
he just talked about that though, about there's limited grants for the funding for that.
For that, I ain't talking about that, I'm talking about, you fund for a police officer, if it's gonna cost an extra $1,000 for licensing or $2,000, then you include that in the cost of that along with, because you gotta include the cost of the vehicle if we don't have a vehicle for them. And all the equipment that they're required to have and all the training that you gotta send.
I haven't seen any grants for part-time police officers.
I ain't
or
saying
for-
part-time, I'm saying full-time.
It's easy
Jimmy,
to
I
come
thought
up.
you said they talked to someone about some grants, somebody called you.
I talked to Miss Jessica Neighbors about it, you know, she
That-
called me
That's
about
a
it.
2-year program. for
It's a
domestic
2-year
violence.
program.
Okay,
It's easy to come up with a problem to solution, and that sounds like what I'm doing, but grants are, they're finite, they don't always last, and you got everybody jumping in the shallow end of this pool trying to get wet, and it's just, I have looked, I've got.
okay, I'm not saying you haven't,
No,
I'm
I know,
just asking.
it's not contingent, but I just want you to know that I don't want to see police department closed, and I fought to kind of help Bill and I have spent, and Danielle has spent quite a few hours looking at different ways to do it. And I want to have / hold out hope for it, but there's a lot of ways, there's just no money out there. I'm
It's
like,
a fine, if we got grants for 10 officers, the bottom line, we still can't afford what we got now and adding $100,000, $200,000 a year. It don't matter if we can get grants for 2 or 3 or 4 officers. It's to maintain what we got and to pay the other,
Well,
it all
and
boils down to finances.
And the thing about a grant is, it has to be a reoccurring thing
Right,
when you
so
have,
to continually apply
but you
for
gotta
it.
make sure that you're gonna get that every time, because that's what got us in the trouble we were in, is we paid officers the 45 with non-recurring funds. We've
Anybody
got
have
to
any-
have a reoccurring.
Okay.
You know, that's the scary part, is when you hire a new officer with grant funds that aren't promised, you know, you might not get it the next time, and then you got an employee, you have no money to pay
I
them.
understand.
That's the scary thing about it.
And then you've got to supplant the computers and the added cost for that may not be, and you got additional costs that may not last but a year. It's just,
Anybody